Well, hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we are back again with another Alliance War video. This is War 11, so only 2 wars to go. Well, 1 now, since this one's pretty much concluded till the season ends, and ASR is looking good to come in first place so far. So I'm super happy about that. We have an amazing season. Very proud with all of my teammates, and this time we are going up against APOCO. APOCO is in top 5 currently, and they were in like top 3 before, and here I just quickly went double check which tech boost I had nearly expiring, because I figured I'd rather use it in war than let it expire. But either way, I am on path 1 in section 1 and 2 once again, and also, quite strangely enough, once again our opponents have placed Protect Global instead of Stubborn, and the main takeaway point is pretty much if you place Protect node on, then Quake will wreck everything, which is pretty much exactly what Quake is going to do in this war. And this war actually was kind of funny, because in first section, I had a chance to take that A-gun, but he was still linked, and that fight wasn't originally assigned to me. And I was like, my only death this season was to a fight that I wasn't meant to take. So I'm going to learn from past mistakes, and I'm only going to do the fights that I'm told to do. And that lasted for about half a day, because I ended up stealing all the mini bosses on the left side. But I'm very proud for not taking that A-gun. I had a real temptation to do so, and then I slipped later on. Either way, so the first fight was against Tigra, and it wasn't much of a hassle. As we saw there, that level 2 did massive amounts of damage, and I'm used to seeing Tigra on that node that I really don't mind fighting Tigers anymore. I know some people struggle with Tigra, but well, at the very least, the nodes that I have faced her on, she typically isn't much of a trouble. Next up, we have this Mr. Sinister on Masochism node and Lionheart, and Warlock is obviously absolutely perfect counter for that. Shut down his healing, power drain him, class advantage, drop a level 2, he loses vast majority of his health in a single level 2. And I'm back at another level 2 to drop another one, and the fight is over just like that in like 40 seconds. And very simple, very straightforward. And here's that A-gun. I could have taken that A-gun, I could have easily Quaked it, because Quake would ignore power strike counter node, and power focus wouldn't be important as well. But I was like, nah, I'll be disciplined. I'm not going to do that. So I left the fight to whoever was meant to take that fight. I think Dr. Doom was assigned to it, or whoever. And next up, we're already in day 2. And originally, this was going to be quite short war for me, to be honest. I'm scheduled to take the 3 fights here. So Taskmaster, Magneto, and then Terrax. So against Taskmaster, I'm just going to use Warlock, kind of, why not? This fight's actually going to be a bit more sketchy than I thought it would be, and we're going to see why in a moment. And yeah, so either way, I have like a medium set of boosts, small attack boost, small health boost, a larger champion boost. I'm going to use the combat regeneration boost just to save a potion pretty much, and because I'm running Suicide Mastery still, and that was kind of lazy actually in this war as well. I probably should have taken off Suicide Masteries for the latter part of it, and because I didn't want to take off Suicide Masteries, I also ended up not using Human Torch for a single fight, because he's not the perfect champion to run with Suicide Masteries active. But that's another story of me just being lazy, or this game's mastery system being so outdated and so horrible that it makes me make poor decisions. And here's a trick. We can see that I have 2 armor breaks on the guy, and he's not regening. So somebody placed the defense without willpower, the cheeky guys, and I nearly pushed Taskmaster to level 3. That was critical. I was bricking it in my pants when I saw that power bar not go down. I should have noticed it earlier. I didn't, and thankfully it didn't push him all the way up to level 3, but it was so close. There was a critical error of me being careless, basically. I should have 100% noticed that. But next up, basically from this point forward, I'm going to do everybody a favor. If you do not like watching Quake fights, basically turn away now, because that's all what's left. I wanted to relive the old pre-stubborn glory days of Quake and re-demonstrate just how amazing Quake is. Now, past this point, I also must say that I remembered my personal biggest downfall using Quake, and that is my fingers start cramping up if I do it for too long, and there's gonna be quite a lot of Quake footage by I'm sure you guys figured it out by the length of the video. So anyways, this magneto has buffet node active. I did make a slight slip up at the start where I triggered it, but at this point, 50 seconds in the fight, that a big juiced up 6-star magneto is well on his way to the Shadow Realm. And yeah, Quake is just doing what Quake's doing. We can see that I'm taking about 47 a tick because of the boost. I kind of wish I never applied that health boost. That would have helped me with some potions, because ironically, if I didn't use a single potion in the previous war against Kenobi, in this war I used quite a lot of them. But on the other hand, I use significantly less and smaller boosts in this war. So next up against Terax, I'm just going to give Quake one potion here. So my potion use starts here. And Quake is fantastic with Suicide Masteries in Alliance War if you're not boosting your health heavily. However, if you are boosting your health heavily, then Suicide Masteries are quite costly to run with Quake. And truth be told, she doesn't need them, but you can use it. But if you're going to use Quake for like 5 fights in a row, well, then the potion cost is going to go up there as well. As we can see, I am mitigating my suicide damage with those regen boosts, and truth be told, I'm well stacked on like all of them. I have been very conservative with those 3-minute boosts over past God knows how many seasons, and for most part I have like them at 4+ all the time, if not maxed out in one overflow. So I wasn't too stressed that I have to use some of them for this war. Again, there's only one war left in season, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to restock on them in timely manner. And yeah, so Terax basically does nothing against Quake. We're not giving him any power, he doesn't have any rock field active, and he just dies like a good little Galactus puppy should. And next up is the fight that I should not have taken, alongside 2 more fights that I shouldn't have taken. However, I was kind of getting in a sporty mood with Quake. And yeah, I just decided to make a series of horrible decisions. First off, word of advice, you do not really ever want to Quake Emma Frost, because whenever she's in diamond form, which is the form that she starts in, she has huge physical resistance, and she's also stun immune. So going in this fight, I already automatically knew that this is going to take a while. This fight was always going to take a while. And obviously then there's Rage, and the thing with Rage is that Quake doesn't trigger the Furies even if she reaches the cap typically, but at the same time her damage is still capped to the 2.5% per go. So are you ready? This is gonna be a while. And I'm activating another regeneration boost because I knew this fight's gonna be long, and I'm gonna be losing health quite rapidly. Right, and now that's all there's going to be left to it. Just Quake for days against stun immune Emma that takes hardly any damage. But again, because of the fact that I was running Suicide Masteries and because of the 5-minute timers in this case, even though that Emma was quite stacked there, I was feeling okay. I was feeling in a sporty, adventurous mood. Now, APOCO is a very great alliance, and ASR didn't have the best war by any means, but we still had relatively sizable lead. That being said, obviously I still don't want to die, and I want to do everything I possibly can to make sure our alliance wins. But truth be told, that is about how confident I am in Quake. And yeah, I know the Alliance War season is coming to an end. I wanted to get more fights in, as selfish that is. And hopefully my teammates don't want to kick my rear end for that, because each and every single one of these mini-bosses was assigned to a different teammate of mine. And so I managed to steal minis from basically a third of my battle group in one go. Now I do make a slight slip-ups here and there as well, but that quite honestly largely is due to just quaking multiples of fights in a row without taking any break whatsoever. Ideally, I do like to take like 3-5 minute break in between any longer Quake fights. The ones that last like 3-4 minutes are definitely leave a toll on my fingers. Is it either a result of me quaking too much over the years, or me not just being as young anymore? But yeah, my fingers feel it, and that will show itself in the Korg fight next as well. But here, slowly but surely, nearly 2 minutes in the fight, you can see that M Frost is at 35%. And I always like to look at these fights. What would have happened if we didn't have the 5-minute timers? Would I have timed out? So in my head, I always kind of like keep an eye on the 3-minute mark as well, just to understand whether that would have resulted in a timeout before Kabam extended these fight durations. And as we can see, I only have 44 seconds left here, and M Frost at 18%, so we are kind of like thereabouts on the border. However, I have been working very diligently in the background here with Quake and trying to place as many aftershocks on her as possible, and we would have actually finished the fight within the 3 minutes. So that's cool. That's kind of reassuring. If ever Kabam changes their mind and goes back to 3-minute timers in Alliance War, Quake can still do this fight. So this is important research. It's not a mini boss theft at all by any means. It was important research. All right, next up against Korg. And again, I'm still debating, should I not? And I was like, well, I already stole one mini boss, like, might as well carry on, I suppose. And yeah, so now we're going to be going in with class disadvantage in this situation. I lost quite a bit of health, so I will have to potion up my Quake a bit, but I don't mind, honestly. Like, Alliance War, now that we have had such a great season, I feel very entertained playing it. Like, Alliance War is one of those game modes that actually still gives me butterflies and means a lot to me. Like, if I lose a fight in a quest, I couldn't be bothered less for most part and stuff like that. But in Alliance War, it matters, and it definitely matters a lot. Now, here I was a bit lazy. I should have healed up higher, because at this point, my fatigue will start to kick in even more, and Korg's going to actually crit on me quite heavily, which is going to hurt. To be honest, I kind of felt as if though that shouldn't have been, as in my input was in place, but apparently not. I must have mistimed something. So I did get snagged there immediately at 54%, and all of a sudden, this fight seems a lot more dangerous than it should have been. I am using a 5-star champion on Suicide Masteries who's consistently losing health over time against a rank 3 6-star that's hard as rock and has a class advantage on me. At this point, minute in, when Korg has 60% health, I'm below 50. The fight was scary, I'm not gonna admit. I was like, maybe this wasn't such a great idea. Maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna die and then I'm gonna get slagged off by all my teammates for doing this. So at this point, the second breath of determination kicked in. I decided to play through the pain. I grabbed my phone firmly back in my hands, kept pressing my finger, and when I quake, there's another interesting thing. I showcased it in my how to quake video, but I actually use my left thumb and right index finger to quake. I just find it significantly easier. But yes, that means the index finger is taking the grunt of the punishment at this point. However, we have managed to pull it back. We are at 33%, the Korg is at 10%. I just need to wait out for this another set here of the aftershocks, and we will be in the clear. The main thing is here not to fall below 18%, not to get in assassin's range. So we're pushing it close. Definitely wasn't the best advised decision to do, but hey, you know, it worked out. Hopefully none of my teammates watched this video, and we can never ever talk about it again. And again, at this point, I was like kind of going all in. I was like, I stole 2 mini bosses, right? Might as well go for a third. It's like 2 mini bosses, like, what's the difference, right? So let's go for a third, and we're going up against this long shot now. And this guy's actually, Quake has class advantage. And I feel a lot more comfortable now. My finger is killing me, man. Like, honestly, my finger was giving me such a hard time. But at the same time, I'm like, this guy doesn't have any external power gain. Aspect of evolution, who cares? We're not gonna let him cross a bar of power ever. And yeah, class advantage, and here we go. Very simple. This fight's going significantly quicker as well now, and yeah, there's gonna be no major hiccups, and we're gonna finish it up. So currently ASR, well, we are about to be 11-0. This war technically isn't over, but we are ahead in kills, and in exploration we don't have that many fights left. It looks like we're gonna win it. And then we just have one war left. I am actually relatively confident that we have pretty much sealed in the first place now, because Kenobi now is in second with 2 losses. So even if we do lose one, we should finish in first. So good going, ASR. Greatly proud of everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this war video. I hope the commentary was relatively entertaining, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about